Hello, my lovely people. Welcome back to my channel. It's good to have you here again. If this is your first time on this channel, can you please subscribe? Can you like the videos? Can you share with the mothers in your circle? Because these videos are awesome. They are educative, and new mothers really find it useful. Please do share among the women in your circle. Thank you. So today, as I promised in my last video, I'll be talking about exclusively breastfeeding as a 9-to-5 mom. Now, we know motherhood on its own, it's a full-time job. The one you can't wake up until you're not going to work. You can't resign from it, want to enter into it. It's for life, actually. Even till your children leave your home, are married, you still perform your mother duties on them. So motherhood is a lifetime journey. Now, the difference between being a 9-to-5 mom and a self-employed mom is that as a 9-to-5 mom, you are responsible. You are expected to report at office, expected to report even if you are working from home. You have stipulated time for resumption and for closure for every day. But as a self-employed mom, you can choose not to go to work in a particular day. No one's gonna beat you on that. You can choose to stay home. You can choose to rest, especially if you have someone that can assist you at your work. But as a 9-to-5 mom that has a report and as an employee, then exclusively breastfeeding might be a bit challenging compared to if you are self-employed. I'll just practically go straight to sharing my own experience. So I work in a shipping firm, and I have to resume work by 9 and close by 5. But as a new mom, I had the grace of closing an hour earlier, which I don't joke with. Immediately it's 4 p.m. you'll see me flying and straight home, because little one is waiting for me at home. So my mind was basically at home. So what I do is immediately I give birth to my baby. I already got electric pump machine. So initially I got a manual pump, but thankfully I was chatting up with a friend that gave birth to her own child, a daughter, some months before mine. So I think I was doing a checklist of what I have, what I might need. Then we mentioned the pump. Okay, I asked her if she was exclusively breastfeeding her baby. She said yes. So we mentioned the pump, and she advised me to go and get an electric pump. And the manual pump would be very stressful, which I already got. So thankfully again to one of my sisters, she funded that, and I was able to get the electric pump in a dying minute. So that actually helped me with my lactation too. Pumping out makes help with your lactation, because the way it works is our brain receives the message that your baby needs more milk. So when you nurse your baby and you pump immediately after, that means your body is getting the message that you need more milk. That is why someone that is pumping might get extra milk compared to someone that is just at home and exclusively breastfeeding without pumping out, might not get extra milk. So it's encouraged and advised as a working mom, you get the right pump and you start pumping early. Don't wait till you're about to resume work before you start pumping, because that might be very, very dangerous. You might not get enough milk. So immediately you start lactating, just start pumping and start storing in the freezer. Milk stored in the freezer can last up to 1 year, from 6 months to 1 year. It is advised that once the milk is dissolved, you should not allow it frozen back again. So you just use it. So a milk that has been dissolved, that has been dissolved for babies to feed on, should not stay more than 24 hours. And the best way to thaw your milk is to put it in a warm flowing water, a very lukewarm water. Do not thaw in an hot boiling water. And the best way is, if you want to use an expressed milk that has been stored inside the freezer, once it's the next day, the best thing is to bring it out of the freezer, say a night before usage, put inside the fridge and let it dissolve itself naturally. That is the best way to actually dissolve it. But for emergency cases that you have to dissolve in emergency, then you have to just store with warm water, not boiling water. Just the way we are advised to warm our baby's milk in warm water and not boiling water. So that's the best thing to do. You start expressing on time so you can have enough milk. So what do? Thankfully, my mom is still around with our baby. So what I do is, because some challenges of nursing mother, working 9 to 5 working mom that I want to exclusively breastfeed also face had to do with the crèche. Some crèches don't encourage exclusive breastfeeding, which is bad. Although I've read somewhere there are some crèches that everyone encourage that you can bring them, they'll put inside the fridge for you, they want it for your babies. But most of those crèches, they want easy and fast way, and they believe, and which is true, babies that are exclusively breastfed, they have the tendency of actually going hungry on time. So within 2 hours, 1 hour 30 minutes, as they grow, actually they tend to demand for food often compared to formula fed babies. So this actually makes the work tiring for the crèche attendants. So they discourage exclusive breastfeeding. So what I did was, when I resumed office, I resumed my baby was 2 days to 3 months. I had enough milk already. As I said, I was lactating well. I'm still lactating well. So I expressed enough milk. And that day I was to go to the office. I expressed the night before, kept it in the fridge, and I told I think I now gave instruction that if they would need for extra one, they can really tell from the one in the freezer. So I was able to go to work, and when I got back, I went to my electric pump. I was able to extract some milk during break. Not break per se, because break at my office is 12 to 1, but because of how much I'm lactating, my breasts get full on time. So what I do is around 10 I quickly go and express. Sometimes I get 100 ml while expressing, and I'll go back to my seat. So I didn't have a defined break. I couldn't go for break 12 to 1. I just used my break majorly to express milk out. So I was able to do that till, I said in my last video, I think 4 months and a week, when I had dropped down in my milk and I was worried. A lot of this happened then. As I said, I was not feeling too well as my period, and later on I noticed that period actually affects lactation too. So those are what made drop down in my milk. So what I just do was I made sure I had enough. Now that I'm even on complementary feeding, and I had my periods a while ago, what I did was I made sure that when I saw my calendar and I was expecting my period, what I did was to make sure I had at least some in store, because I expect a drop down in milk flow immediately after my period. Then I'll have to keep drinking water intentionally. Now the key to it is, when you have a drop down after your period, you should not stop breastfeeding, you should not stop expressing, because if you stop, then you won't have much demand. But if you keep taking fluid, keep breastfeeding, keep pumping, you will in no time you get your supply as usual. So that was what I go to cope. I'll go to work, and when I come back from work by 4 p.m. I express. I keep them in the fridge, since that will be used against tomorrow. There's no need for me to get it frozen, so I keep it in the fridge. Oh, I forgot to mention that while in the office, after expressing, I was able to use one of my boss's freezer to keep it. So initially I was in the freezer to get frozen, but while coming home it got dissolved. So later on, what I just do was, the freezer is actually a very good one. The fridge is a good one, so I just keep it inside the fridge. It's always very cold. Then I commute from work to home. I think within 1 hour I'm home. So when I get home, I just make sure I put it inside the fridge immediately, storing against tomorrow, the next day. So that was how I was able to keep going, and whenever I have a drop down in milk, I wasn't able to express enough at work, fall back to what I had inside the freezer. That's why it's encouraged for a nursing mom to always store milk inside the freezer if you want to exclusively breastfeed. And because of the stress of going back to work, like when you're on maternity leave, you're able to rest part time, you can sleep when your baby is sleeping, but while you're going back to work, that won't actually work for you. So what you do is actually make sure you rest, find a less stressful way to commute to work. When you get to work, do your work, take a nap if you have to do in between, take enough water, and when you get back home, if you can rest before pumping again, it will be very nice to help your milk supply, because stress actually affects the milk supply. So the more you stress yourself, the less milk you get. So it's advised that because you're going to work, naturally it's a stress on its own, but you have to be intentional about resting, taking a nap, 5 minutes nap, 10 minutes nap, and taking a lot of fluid, taking fruits, eating well. There's tendency to also forget your tendency for you also to forget feeding because of work. Imagine getting to work and you have pile of works to attend to, and before you know it, breakfast time is gone, you could not eat anything, lunch is gone. If you don't feed also, you won't get milk to lactate. There's no how you will lactate without feeding. So you have to eat well so you're able to get milk for your baby. So I was able to continue with that cycle, pumping for the next day while I work, come back from work, feed the baby, pump and feed, because I was doing pumping and feeding more, because by that way I'm able to ascertain that this is the ml is taken per time and to last for this period of time. While I was already working, I think we started taking 100 ml. It was less than that before, 100 ml, and within 2 hours it will have digested. So I'd have calculated that, oh, in the next 2 hours I need to feed him again. Unlike if I'm giving him breast directly from my breast, he might not get 100 ml as I go before he removes his mouth. So I would end up nursing almost every hour. So I think expressing also help you have a calculated and a schedule on your feeding. That's how I was able to cope till we finish our EBF. It was a journey full of its own challenges, especially when I was determined to do it because I saw the benefits, and because I had started. I think I had the spirit in me though, finishing strong spirit. So I already started. I was like, I have to finish this. I already started. I'm so far to 4 months. How am I going to stop halfway? Anyways, we're almost done. And when I had a milk drop again when I was five months, and I think about 2 weeks gone, I was we're almost there. And all thanks to God also, we're able to finish the EBF. So it can actually be very stressful, and as I used to say, and I'm going to say again, it is not a do or die affair. Firstly, you have to understand, you have to decide as a mom that you want to do it. Not everyone wants to actually go through the stress, because sincerely it is stressful. So you have to be determined that you want to do it. If you don't want to do it, it's no crime, but I will encourage you to do it because they're actually very beneficial. But if you don't want to do it, it's no crime. A well-fed baby is the paramount. That's the goal. But we encourage, and I'm encouraging you also that you should try to do exclusive for your baby. It actually increase your bonding time also. There are times that I wake up and I'll be like, oh, am I going to leave my little one at home again? That's when I read on social media and people bashing women that they have to go to work, leave the baby at crèche. I don't know if people actually understand what mothers go through leaving their babies back at home. Thankfully, I was even leaving mine with my mom. Thankfully, I was leaving mine with my mom in a safer hand, the most safe end. And still, I still had this attachment, like I'm leaving my baby. I had to go. When I come back, I'm tired, but I have to carry him. And there's some days I'll be so tired. But you have to keep going because motherhood is a full-time journey. And definitely, it's no joke. You need the right support, and don't be scared to ask for help. Don't be scared to ask for help when you need one. Ask your colleagues for help. If you're at work and you're worn out and you need like 10-15 minutes nap, take a sleep from your boss. They should permit you to just take a 10 minutes nap. Ask for help when you need it. When you're back at home, when you need help, ask for it. Ask for help. Don't be like a superwoman that you can do it all. You can't do it all, no. Because you still have to wake up the next morning, to go to work. Every Monday I look forward to Friday, and every Sunday I dread every Monday. Well, for the jokes, but that's just the truth about it, because work keep piling up and keep piling up. But as a mother, your work, you have to do your work as a mother. It's by default. You can't resign from it. And as a 9 to 5, you have to balance exclusively. So being a 9 to 5 mom and exclusively breastfeeding your baby is no joke. So it's a work on its own, but with determination and the right approach, right meal. As I said, banana works for me. Take a lot of protein, take fruits. Eventually you'll be fine and you'll be surprised. Before you know it, tada! It's 6 months and the complementary feeding is here. I'll talk about complementary feeding later. It's an entirely episode on its own. Because a lot of people, one of the reasons why a lot of people discourage exclusive breastfeeding babies is because, oh, they won't eat when they are 6 months. Oh, they won't want to eat. Boys eat a lot. Well, I heard that a lot. Boys eat a lot. They won't want to eat. If you breastfeed them for 6 months exclusively, you are never giving water, deep hand into the soup and give him this and that. So a lot of things are going to come to discourage from EBF. But you have to be very determined. Sometimes someone very close to you might come and discourage you, like, just give it up already and rest. But you have to be determined and focused. Sometimes you need the encouragement. And if you think truly your body is not taking that longer, you have to give up. Not give up. Like, you've tried your best, then please. The body also is important. You need to rest. That's why I say, as much as I encourage that you exclusively breastfeed, your health is paramount, and a well-fed baby is paramount. So those to be in check. You won't keep falling sick just because you want to exclusively breastfeed your baby. It does not work for you. And I was able to juggle mine, was simple as I said earlier. Then when it comes to my chin, as I said in my introductory video, I make one of the best chin in Lagos. So although my production has reduced compared to before I gave birth to my baby, but I do it once in a while, as I think I do more when I get orders now. Before I try to have on ground, but now I have to work with the orders that I have, because it can be quite challenging. Chin is a very stressful snack to make. It's not pop-off, it's not donuts, it's not meat pie. It's that snack you have to mix and mix. It's that snack you have to use the machine to roll and cut and fry. So the process is stressful on its own. So what I do sometimes is I work at night. So if it's on a weekend, for instance, on a Friday, what I do initially is I make sure that I have all my ingredients at home. That's the first encourager. Because if I don't have ingredients at home, I get discouraged. For instance, this weekend I'm supposed to make chin, but I haven't, because I don't have one ingredient at home, which is butter, and it is very, very crucial that I get it. So see, when I get that butter, I can't make chin. What I do is when I come back, this is a Friday, when I come back, I get the baby, we play, make sure we sleep on time. After sleeping, when I rest for some hours, I wake up in the midnight and I try to make the chin. And once I'm up, and once I'm up, I just I monitor him. If I'm the only one at home, I think the last one I did, my husband went for a vigil, so it was just me and the baby. Our grandma was in the other room. So what I did was I just kept him in the room. I connected with WhatsApp video call to my tab, so I was watching him from where I was making the chin, so that I can monitor him. So I think I was timing him, giving him food, and that was how I was able to successfully do the chin for that week. So it's very stressful. The Saturday I had to sleep in, I had to take vitamins, I had to take fruits to be sure that I'm in check and there's no sickness whatsoever. So guys, my lovely mothers, EBF is very possible, very, very possible. I won't call it an easy journey. It's with its own stress. Actually, that's its own benefit, but it's its own stress. But it's worth it, Just like they say, labor pain is worth it at the end, right? So such is EBF too, it's worth it at the end. So I encourage that you do EBF if it works for you. If it doesn't, please feed our babies well. That's the most important. So thank you for coming on this journey of EBF series with me. This is where I'm going to draw the curtain on EBF series. Well, if any topic comes up later in the future, I might talk about them. But from now, I just want to draw the curtain on EBF series, as I promised in my EBF summary video, and discuss something else. So guys, thank you once again for coming with me. Please do not forget to subscribe. Do not forget to share with the women in your circle, especially the mothers. Do not forget to like, turn on your notification buttons, and keep watching us, keep enjoying us, keep engaging our videos. Thank you and have a nice time. Says Mommy Royal.